The internet loves a shocking story. Over the last few days, one clip has dominated timelines and sparked a wave of emotional reactions, from shock to anger to heartbreak. It's a short video, but it packs a punch. You see a young marine trainer, identified in captions as Jessica Radcliffe, performing with a massive killer whale at a place called Pacific Blue Marine Park. The atmosphere is electric. The crowd is cheering. She stands on the back of the orca as it breaches the water in a spectacular display of power and grace. The music is upbeat, the smiles are genuine, and for a few moments, it feels like a magical connection between human and animal. But then, without warning, the orca lunges upward, knocks her off balance, and drags her under the water. The crowd gasps, the music cuts, and the video ends abruptly. In countless posts online, the caption is the same: Jessica Radcliffe was pulled under by the killer whale and died within minutes. The video has been shared millions of times on TikTok, Facebook, and X. It's been re-uploaded with dramatic music, slowed down in parts for emphasis, and even narrated by other creators who confidently tell the story as if it's fact. For many people who stumble across it in their feed, it's an open and shut tragedy. Another deadly orca attack. Another marine park accident. But the truth? The truth is far stranger and far more revealing than the clip itself. Because Jessica Radcliffe never existed. Pacific Blue Marine Park never existed. And this shocking video is nothing more than an elaborate AI-generated hoax. The first cracks in the story appear when you try to verify the details. In real-life incidents of this kind, there's always an official response. Marine parks have strict protocols when it comes to accidents, especially those involving animals and trainers in front of live audiences. Statements are issued, media is contacted, investigations begin almost immediately. But in this case, there was nothing. No news reports, no press releases, no public records. A search for the name Jessica Radcliffe in marine trainer registries and employment databases turns up nothing. The so-called Pacific Blue Marine Park doesn't appear in any official tourism listings, business registrations, or marine park directories anywhere in the world. And yet, this video was circulating as if it had happened just days ago. Then you start looking at the footage more closely. Analysts who examined the clip found inconsistencies that the average viewer would miss on first watch. The movement of the water around the orca is unnaturally smooth in some frames, almost like it's been digitally generated. There are strange pauses, where both the trainer and the animal seem to freeze for a split second before continuing. The audio, when isolated, has the flat, almost hollow quality of AI-generated speech, lacking the organic variation you hear in real voices captured in a noisy live environment. Even the lighting seems to shift slightly between shots, with shadows appearing in places that don't quite match the direction of the sun. Once these red flags were spotted, the story started to unravel quickly. Fact-checkers from multiple outlets concluded that the entire clip had been produced using artificial intelligence tools, blending realistic water effects, AI voiceovers, and fabricated crowd audio into a convincing but entirely fictional event. Forbes labeled the clip a hoax, pointing out that an accident of this scale, involving a trainer and a killer whale, would have made international headlines within hours if it were real. The Economic Times noted that the name, the location, and the backstory all failed to line up with any verifiable facts. And in the end, the consensus was clear: this was a piece of digital fiction designed to look like breaking news. But that still leaves one question. Why did so many people believe it? Part of the answer lies in how the hoax was constructed. This wasn't a random scene dreamed up from nothing. It was built on a foundation of real tragedies, borrowing emotional weight from incidents that genuinely happened. In 2010, Don Brancho, an experienced trainer at SeaWorld in Orlando, was killed by an orca named Tilikum during a live performance. In 2009, Alexis Martinez, another highly trained marine mammal specialist, died in a similar incident at Loro Parque in Spain. Both deaths were deeply tragic, widely reported, and became central to debates about keeping orcas in captivity. By echoing the circumstances of those real events, a female trainer, a performing orca, a sudden violent moment, the hoax tapped into memories and emotions that made it feel instantly plausible. The psychology at work here is something experts have been warning about for years. When people see a video that triggers a strong emotional reaction, Shock, outrage, sadness, the brain's critical thinking filters often take a back seat. Our first instinct is to feel, not to question. Add to that the fact that AI-generated visuals are now capable of producing water ripples, lighting, and crowd noise that mimic reality almost perfectly, and you have the perfect recipe for viral misinformation. The style of the footage matters too. It looks like something a bystander could have recorded on their phone, shaky and imperfect, which makes it feel more authentic than a polished production. By the time fact-checkers step in, the damage is done. The video has already been watched, shared, and emotionally processed by millions of people. Some will see the corrections and accept them. Others will double down, convinced that the cover-up is part of the story. This cycle is exactly why AI hoaxes are so powerful and so dangerous. Ironically, even though the Jessica Radcliffe story is entirely fake, it has reignited a real conversation that many in the marine entertainment industry would rather avoid: the ethics of keeping orcas in captivity. Killer whales are highly intelligent, socially complex animals that roam vast distances in the wild. In captivity, their environment is drastically smaller, their social structures are disrupted, and their lifespans are often shorter. Take the case of Kiska, nicknamed the world's loneliest orca. She lived alone for 12 years at Marineland in Canada without the company of another whale until she died in 2023. That's a real tragedy, backed by years of documentation, but it didn't dominate the global conversation the way a fabricated AI video just did. And that's the most unsettling part of the story. The fake outshines the truth. The spectacle drowns out the reality. A fictional trainer we now know never existed has sparked more outrage than an actual animal that lived and died in solitude. This is the media landscape we're living in, where algorithms push the most engaging content, not the most accurate. So how can you protect yourself from falling for the next viral fake? The first step is to slow down. Before sharing, take a moment to check the basics. Does the person's name appear in credible news sources? Does the location exist? If the event is supposedly recent and catastrophic, why aren't major news outlets covering it? Watch for tiny glitches, the way shadows fall, the way water moves, or the way voices sound. AI still struggles with perfect realism, and those imperfections are often the giveaway. Use reverse image or video search tools to see if the footage appears elsewhere under a different context. In the end, the Jessica Radcliffe Orca attack never happened. But the fact that so many people believed it, shared it, and reacted to it is a warning sign of what's coming. We've officially entered a world where seeing is no longer believing. And unless we learn to pause, verify, and question, we're going to keep falling for the next big AI-generated lie. The next time a shocking clip crosses your feed, remember this story. Because in a digital age where truth and fiction can look identical, your skepticism might be the only thing standing between you and the next viral hoax.